Okay, I have a rare morning off. It's very rare that I get to go fishing in the morning, but I have a morning off today, and I'm heading to Pine Island Sound to do some fishing for trout, redfish, and snook. Will be my three main targets. I got kind of a late start, slept a little longer than I was planning, but when I went outside I realized that that's not going to be much of a factor anyways, because it's kind of cold this morning by Florida standards. So typically when it's cold in the morning, that will push the fish bite back a little bit. It'll start to warm up like around 9 or 10, and that's when the bite will turn on. So even though I woke up a little late, that shouldn't affect me too much. Getting to that point in the day where you start getting anxious if you haven't caught a fish yet. Fish on. It's a trout. Ooh, it's a nice trout too. Oh! I don't know if you could see it in the video, but that trout I just lost could very well have been my personal best. It was definitely a gator trout. It was somewhere from 22 to 24 inches. My personal best is 22. So it could have tied or beaten my personal best. It was the weirdest thing though. It did not feel like a big fish. I was just reeling it in, not that excited. And then when I got close to the boat and saw my kayak, all of a sudden it came to life and pulled the hook. So frustrating. After a couple hours of fishing without any action, I hook into my personal best trout and then I immediately lose it. There's a fish. Doesn't feel that big, but neither did that big one that I just lost. Yeah, that's a trout. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's a big one. That's a big trout. He's maybe not a monster, but it's a good trout. Oh yeah. Ooh. No, that is a monster. Holy moly. That's probably the one I just lost. Come here. No, 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 no. Get in my net. Come on. Come here, you. How does he keep jumping out of there? Oh my. Yes. Oh. I'm pretty sure that's the one I just lost. That is a nice trout. Wow. When I saw the size of his mouth when he came up and started head shaking, I knew it was a big fish. This probably beats my personal best. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Look at that beautiful hook set. No thanks to me. I think he did that on his own. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, look at him. Close the mouth. 22 on the dot. Ties my personal best. Well, 22 and a quarter. Just beats my personal best. Wow, I thought he was bigger. But it's a nice fish. I'm not complaining. Oh. I gotta get a selfie. Just beat my personal best by a 1/4 inch, 22 and a quarter.
saw her belly. She's full of eggs, most likely. I don't know, I'm not a scientist. I don't know exactly if this is when they breed, but if she's not full of eggs, she's putting on the weight so that she can produce eggs. And she's one of the key breeders. You know, fish this size produce way more eggs than the smaller, barely mature females. I'd rather keep the males. So let's try to catch one about 17, 18 inches and bring him home for dinner. And we'll let this girl go. Let's watch her swim off. She feels like she's ready to go. There you go. She's going right under the kayak. You should see her come out this way. Oh, I really wanted to watch her swim off. There she goes. Pretty fish. Oh man, that was amazing. I was tempted to put her in this cooler, but had to let that fish go. Okay, we got another fish on. It ain't a big one, but it ain't acting like a trout unless it's a really small one. Oh, it is a trout. Man, these trout today, even though they got some size, they're not fighting very well until they get right to the boat. Very strange. I'm gonna lose this one, I feel like. It's another decent, that's a nice trout. Man, I like this place. Every trout you catch here is a good trout. Maybe he's about 18. I've caught plenty of 18-inch trout. Yeah, it's an 18-inch trout. Right on the nose. Am I touching up here? Yeah. Tail pinched, 18 inches. Right on the nose. This one is going to come home for dinner. So I was just coming in. I found this awesome rat snake crawling away. They're not dangerous. No? They just eat rats. See, he doesn't even want to bite me. I'll let him go now.
You guys want to stay or we want to go?
Well, you guys were planning on fishing here? Yeah. It won't hurt you. I mean, you saw I grabbed him by the tail and he didn't even bite me. All right. You kids know not to touch a snake by yourself though, right?